Welcome back into Murphy Center here on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University. It is Friday, and we are so pumped because we are getting to watch a little more high school basketball, which is never a bad thing, at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships. This is the Lee Company Mobile Studio, and this is Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joints Main Street Sports Today. Now, we have to welcome in our favorite high school basketball reporter in all of the state, the Hall of Famer, Mo Patton. What's up, man?
I'm good, man. Like you said, we're getting to watch some more high school basketball. Going to get to watch a little bit more tomorrow, courtesy of one certain team.
Perhaps two.
And might get to watch a little more. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun to watch regardless, but it's fun when you've got a team that you're directly involved with playing. And like I said, that'll be the case at least one time tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, looking forward to it, as right now Hampton and Chattanooga Prep are, well, they're playing.
Yeah, did not see this coming. I'm sure Chris Murdoch is happy with this.
Yeah. I'll tell you who is happy to see it, though. It's probably our friend Heather Williams, who covers Hampton throughout the year. And they currently lead Chattanooga Prep 33-18.
And looking for more.
Looking for more with under a minute to play in the first. Is it third quarter?
Third quarter.
Is it? Dang, that's quick. Well, this game has gone by really quickly.
You know better.
Hey, I don't care. Oh, man, we got a great show lined up. We're going to have a couple of folks stop by and hang out. Hopefully, we're going to get to see John Varlas a little bit later, who covers Memphis high school sports for the Daily Memphian. We'll also hopefully see Wade Neely.
Maybe.
Potentially. Again.
Charles Pulliam.
Potentially. Well, maybe. as long as
he doesn't have a team left. So if he's still in the building, we should be able to get him.
Good. So you never know who's going to stop by for a chat, just as the promo tells you. We got a lot to get to. In fact, a lot of scores, a lot of schedule. So let's dive in and give you the rundown.
Here's the rundown.
The Friday rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support youth sports across Middle Tennessee.
Basketball action yesterday. Alcoa down to Pearl Cone, 65-62 in Class 2A play. It was Brainerd 63-60 winners over Fairview despite that
Frenzied
frenzy comeback in the second half. Douglas down to York Institute 81-53, and Giles County advances to the state semifinals with a 70-68 win over Power Center, unplugging the Knights, as Wade Neely said on the air.
Yep.
Fulton down MLK 72-32, and Haywood was a 57-51 winner over Ridgeway, both of those in Class 3A play. This morning in 4A, it was Memphis Overton downing Hillsboro 71-61, and Independence runs away from Memphis East 78-58. And as we said, Hampton and Chattanooga Prep are in progress, and the score is Hampton 35, Chattanooga Prep 20 going to the fourth quarter.
Power is out would have been a great headline.
That is good.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of do it for a living.
Sometimes.
High school baseball from Thursday. Magnolia Heights of Mississippi defeated Blackman 9-0. Chattanooga Central defeated Mount Juliet Christian 5-4. Clarksville blanked Dixon County 1-0. Magnolia Heights with a 7-1 win over Columbia Central. Cullioca down Cornersville 17-7. Station Camp with a 14-13 win over Dobbins Bennett. Blocked an extra point, I guess. Eagleville with a 3-0 win over Cannon County. Creekwood 7, East Hickman 2. Clarksville Academy 3, Green Hill 0. Hillwood defeated Hillsboro 16-14. Independence on the diamond defeating Beach 12-7. Watertown with a 12-2 win over Jackson County. Station Camp defeated Jefferson County 12-6. Knox Central 4, Murfreesboro Central 1. Lewisburg of Mississippi defeated Friendship Christian 9-4. Middle Tennessee Christian defeated Mount Juliet 12-1. Spring Hill defeated Mount Pleasant 14-1. And Smith County defeated Oakland 4-1.
Pearl Cone got the best of Fulton 13-6, and Hampshire shut out Perry County 12-0. It was Powell 9, Ravenwood 2, and Richland 7-1 winners over Huntland. Good Pasture down Riverdale 7-6, and Centennial edged Riverdale 3-2. It was Rossview 9, Carterville 4, Smyrna 12, Mount Juliet 7. This is why I didn't go to that game. Forest 12, Summertown 10. Yeah. Tullahoma 3-2 winners over Seagulls. Washington County out of Alabama 9-5 winners over Gallatin. And Wilson Central 4-2 over Shelbyville. Now, we talked about how bad Tennessee teams are beating Oklahoma teams yesterday. UConn got it back.
UConn heard you.
They got it back and then some. An 18-0 win over Christ Presbyterian.
Goodness gracious. You do have a history with Forest and Summertown. So, yeah, it's probably good that you did not go to that. In softball action on Thursday, Clarksville Christian 21, Franklin Road Christian 11. Columbia Central stays undefeated with an 11-6 win over Lebanon. Community defeated Murfreesboro Central 7-0. It was Wayne County 19, Cullioca 1. Farragut 16, Mount Juliet nothing. Huntland 7, Blackman 1. Richland 9, Mount Pleasant 4, and Perry County 22, Santa Fe 1.
Hey, yesterday we gave you those Summertown scores. All of those scores were in bracket play. They lost to Tuscaloosa County 3-0, but that was in the championship of that Gulf Shores tournament. So well done to the Lady Eagles. Just wanted to give them a shout out for that.
Absolutely.
Boys soccer action yesterday. Beach 5-1 over Buckhorn of Alabama. It was Community 2, Watertown 1. Dixie, South Carolina gets the best of Giles County 5-3. Sycamore 3, Greenbrier 3. That's a draw. Laverne 3-1 winners over Antioch. Middle Tennessee Christian down to Agathos Classical 4-1. It was Webb School 3, Oakland 2, Columbia Central 2, Shelbyville Central also 2. Smyrna,
that's a draw.
That is also a draw. Smyrna 4-1 winners over Murfreesboro Central. Portland and Stone Memorial a 1-1 draw, as well as Merrill Hyde and Wilson Central.
Women's college basketball action in the women's WNIT. Belmont season comes to an end as they fall to Ball State 101-86. Men's NCAA action. Tennessee kept that BVS alive late, but pulled out a 58-55 win over the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana from Lafayette. Don't call them Louisiana Lafayette. Baseball action. Vanderbilt opened Southeastern Conference play with a 12-2 8-inning win over Ole Miss. Trevecca with a 10-3 win over Hillsdale. Hillsdale turned that around in the nightcap 10-1. The Hillsdales won. Cumberland swept Wilberforce 20-2 and 32-2. Incidentally, those two were scheduled for a third game today. That game was canceled. Go figure. On the ice, the Preds come up short against Chicago, dropping a 2-1 decision to the Blackhawks.
All right. Middleton and University School of Johnson City will tip off at 2:45 in Blue Cross basketball action here in just a few minutes. Alcoa and Brainerd in the 2A semifinals, and Goals County.
Yeah.
Sorry, Giles County and Douglas in the other semifinal of Class 2A at 6 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Class 3A state finals, Fulton and Haywood. Be a good one. And in Class 4A, it's Independence and Memphis Overton at 1:30, and the 1A finals at 4, 2A finals at 6:30 tomorrow. Baseball action today already played. Ravenwood, Ray County, Ezel Harding, Bell Vernon, Cookville, Montgomery Central. Fulton and Antioch may still be playing, but probably not. At 12:30, Murfreesboro Central and Knoxville Halls played. At 3 o'clock, here we go. Station Camp takes on McMinn Central. At 4:30 at Smith County and Middle Tennessee Christian. Montgomery Central and Sevier County, Smyrna and Lebanon, Clarksville Centennial, Rockville, Clarksville Academy, and Wilson Central, Columbia Central, and I don't know where any of those games are.
At 5:30, Hampshire hosts Perry County. Also at 5:30, Station Camp is at Heritage. I don't know if that's White House Heritage or Maryville Heritage.
That's a good question. I don't know either.
6 o'clock, Richland is at Columbia Academy. Also at 6 o'clock, Fayetteville's at Culleoka. Moore County's at Spring Hill. East Hickman's at Summertown. Community is at Eagleville at 6:30. Mount Pleasant hosts Forest. Also, White House takes on visiting Springfield. At 7 o'clock, Clarksville is at Beach. Magnolia Heights of Mississippi is at Siegel. Independence travels to Riverdale. Good Pasture is at Oakland, and Green Hill hosts Stewart's Creek. Also playing at a time unknown to us are Creekwood at Fairview and Waverly at Davidson Academy.
Softball action today at 1 o'clock. Bentworth, Pennsylvania, and Gallatin, followed by Fort Worth, Pennsylvania, and Gallatin.
Fort Cherry, Pennsylvania.
I'm sorry, Fort Cherry. I assume that they're in Pennsylvania. Or everybody in Pennsylvania is down here. I don't know.
Well, I do know that Hendersonville is hosting the Commando Classic this weekend.
Could be that.
And so it could be that, but I don't know.
Columbia Academy at 5 o'clock, and these are all weather permitting, by the way. I was about to say, I think
that one
probably
is not.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. All these are weather permitting, and you might want to check your local listings.
But Webb School is definitely not playing
at
Columbia Academy. I've seen that has been postponed.
Spring Hill and Richland at 5 at 5:30. Santa Fe, Cornersville, Lewis County at Culleoka at 6, and Mount Pleasant Zion at 6:30. And I'm pretty sure that's in the
Zion Classic.
The Zion Classics.
Yeah. Boys soccer. Evangel Christian out of Alabama plays Giles County. Should be playing right now because it was a 2 o'clock first touch. At 4 o'clock, Cumberland County and Beach are scheduled to play. Also at 4 o'clock, Cardinal Newman of South Carolina is at Rockvale. At 4:30, Ezel Harding is at Antioch. Columbia Academy is at East Hickman. At 5 o'clock, Stewart's Creek is at Blackman. At 5:30, Hickman County is at Spring Hill. 6 o'clock starts for Santa Fe South, I assume, of Oklahoma, and Station Camp. Zion Christian at Culleoka and Gallatin at Lebanon. Again, those are all 6 o'clock starts. At 7 o'clock, Oakland is at Riverdale. Valor Collegiate plays Hendersonville, and McGill-Tulane of Alabama takes on Siegel at 8.
Saturday baseball action, Station Camp in Ray County, also at 9 o'clock. Murfreesboro Central, Dobbins Bennett at 10. Tullahoma, Middle Tennessee Christian at noon. Also at noon, Beach in Oakland. Shelbyville is at Siegel. Clarksville is at Stewart's Creek at 12:30. Ravenwood's at Science Hill. I guess it's 11:30, probably. Murfreesboro Central Magnet and Jefferson County at probably 11:30 as well, if I had to guess. Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and Loretto at 1. Covenant Christian of Alabama at 2 at Columbia Academy. Clarksville Northeast is at Davidson Academy at 2. Also at 2, Santa Fe hosts Zion Christian. At 2:30, Green Hill goes to Riverdale. Independence is at Siegel. Columbia Central is at Stewart's Creek. Warren County takes on Wilson Central, and Lebanon hosts Clarksville Academy. At 3 o'clock, Loretto is at Florence, Alabama. And Montgomery Central, McMinn County at 3, and Pope Prep Huntland at some point unknown to us.
Softball action tomorrow. Richland plays at Zion Christian. That's a 9 o'clock start, followed by Hickman County and Mount Pleasant and Spring Hill and Community. Hickman County and Mount Pleasant at 10:30, Spring Hill and Community at 12 noon. Richland and Mount Pleasant at 1:30, Hickman County and the host Lady Eagles at 3. Boys soccer action on Saturday. Woodmont, South Carolina plays Beach at 3:30. Also at 3:30, Dixon County plays Giles County. Baylor and Hendersonville play at 5. Hillwood and Overton play at 12 noon at Overton. 9:30 a.m. Daphne, Alabama is at Rockvale. Also, Fort Payne of Alabama plays Siegel. And Cardinal Newman of South Carolina plays Station Camp. Those are all 9:30 starts. At 11:30 a.m., Nolensville plays West.
Knox West, I'm sure.
Knoxville West, I assume.
Boys soccer on Sunday. Station Camp at Rockville at 9:30 and Siegel versus Knox West also at 9:30. Women's basketball action this weekend. In the NCAA tournament, Tennessee takes on St. Louis. That's a noon tip on ABC. And at 6 o'clock, you can see Middle Tennessee State in Colorado on ESPN News. Men's action, NCAA tournament, Duke takes on Tennessee at 1:40 p.m. on CBS tomorrow. NIT action at Memorial tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. on ESPN. Michigan visits Vanderbilt. Baseball weekend series, Ole Miss at Vanderbilt. They played yesterday. As we told you earlier, we gave you a score. They will play today and tomorrow. Tennessee is at Missouri. Austin Peay hosting North Florida. Middle Tennessee State's here against Western Kentucky. Lindenwood comes to Belmont. Jacksonville is at Lipscomb, and Thomas More hosts UT Southern. And in junior college action, Vol State is at Columbia State.
Softball action this weekend. Tennessee travels to LSU. Kennesaw State is at Austin Peay. Belmont hosts Illinois State. MTSU takes on visiting UAB. Bellarmine comes to Lipscomb. Southeast Missouri State is at Tennessee State. Thomas More hosts Cumberland. UT Southern is at Pikeville. Also in junior college action, Ball State is at Columbia State. In the association on Friday, the Memphis Grizzlies travel to San Antonio. That's a 7 o'clock start on Valley Sports South. And on the ice Saturday, Winnipeg comes to Bridgestone for a 1 o'clock puck drop. That can also be seen on Valley Sports South, and that is your rundown.
All right, let's take a break.
All right.
I'm tired of talking for a minute.
I'm good with that.
Let's take our first break of the day. We'll come back. Top story. There are rumors and folks in, not necessarily in media.
I don't know that it's even a rumor. I hesitate to even give air to this. But
well, yeah. Here's the thing. We're going to talk about the Titans, their off-season moves, and one thing that has been said.
One move that there's no way takes place.
There you go.
Yeah.
So stick around. We'll be right back after this, live from Murphy Center in the Lee Company studio on Main Street Sports Today. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see. whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Welcome back in to Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are in the Mobile Lee Company studio, and we're glad to have you with us at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships, live from Murphy Center. Thanks to our friends at Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner. We just told you about the Zion Christian Classic, and literally 32 seconds after we got into that break, we learned that the Classic today.
Tonight's lineup for the Zion Invitational Tournament has been canceled, according to @ZCA Sports on Twitter.
And
stay tuned for a new lineup for tomorrow's games. Yeah, I'd like to think they know.
There you go. Oh, man. Well, first let's talk about Arden Key.
Okay.
Because I think that's something that did happen.
It has happened. That is not a rumor.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it the other day, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Titans needed some help on the edge. They cut Bud Dupree yesterday, I think. And
officially.
I found that, we kind of knew it was coming. Did see where the Steelers might be interested in Bud Dupree if he were healthy, which is a pretty big if.
If he were healthy,
he needs to be a Titan. That's right. But the Titans did go ahead and sign Arden Key, a free agent, outside linebacker, 3 years, $21 million with $13 million guaranteed.
Now that's interesting because I'm looking at Tennessee Titans transactions here on ESPN.com, and I'm not seeing that. But
that's because it says they are signing.
Oh, not they have signed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. But they re-signed, or they have agreed to terms. I'm not quite sure what the difference is, but they agreed to terms with receiver Nick Westbrook-Akina on a 1-year deal. They've re-signed defensive tackle Naquan Jones. Previously, they signed Tier Tart and Aaron Brewer. Let's see. When was the 14th? Was that Tuesday?
Sure.
Tuesday, they signed linebacker Luke Gifford to a 2-year deal. He had been a special teams ace with the Cowboys, I think. And as we know, they released Ben Jones and signed long snapper Morgan Cox. So
can you hear? Is that better? All right, cool.
Yeah. We are now joined by Daily Memphian high school sports writer, among other things, John Varlas. John was on hand earlier today for Memphis Overton's 71-61 win over Hillsborough, as well as Independence's 78-58 win over Memphis East. John, we are on the struggle bus this Friday afternoon as we try to get John on video here, maybe.
And he's like, why though?
Why did I come up here? Yeah. There he is.
There I am.
There he is.
Looking awesome.
No doubt.
Hey,
John, how surprised were you at that Independence East outcome?
kind of. It's this isn't the best East team we've ever seen. Not by a long shot. I think honestly they did really well. Just to get here. I mean, Coach related it in the post-game media session. They lost two guys before the season started, the two guys that transferred that really could have helped them. One of them, Billy Richmond Jr., whose dad, Billy Richmond Sr., played for the Tigers, and I think he played for UT as well.
No, Vanderbilt.
Sorry. Yeah, played for Vanderbilt and the Tigers. So he's a top 50 kind of national type of player. He was at East. He transferred to Camden, New Jersey before the season started to play with DeJuan Wagner's kid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they lost another young man, E.J. Smith, who would have been probably one of the top seniors in Tennessee. So that, that really affected their depth going into the season. And so honestly, I mean, I think they did well, Mo, just to get here. I mean, I was super impressed with Independence. I was really impressed with their zone defense. Clearly that gave East a lot of problems, and they're just a well-coached bunch. They made their shots. They did what they do well, I think Independence would match up very favorably with the very best teams in Memphis. They look like a really strong team in my estimation.
Well, as you mentioned, the very best teams in Memphis. Where does Overton rank among the very best teams in Memphis?
Well, I mean, after today, I think you got to put them right up at the top. I mean,
be hard not to, wouldn't it?
I mean, that show that Jordan Friesen put on, I mean, that's that's one of the all-time great state tournament performances today. 36 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and Mo, what's kind of cool is he was up here Monday and he did not win Mr. Basketball. Jared Hall from Lebanon was 4A Mr. Basketball. And you could tell that Jordan was disappointed. You can tell that maybe he felt like he deserved it. And he has just come out in these last
put
two
a
games.
chip on your shoulder, won't it?
Yeah, he is letting the state and letting the voters know that, in his opinion, that they made a mistake. And he is certainly playing like a Mr. Basketball. He's playing like a state tournament MVP at this point. And like Coach Rose from Overton said, they're going to ride the Cadillac until the wheels fall off, and hopefully they won't fall off until after the game tomorrow.
Well, I'm just going to tell you this: if Friesen is the Cadillac and they're going to ride him till the wheels fall off, I would dare say Jalen Hardaway is the tow truck.
Because Jalen's the big bus, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to pick them up if they drop off, I think.
Well, and this is the best basketball that Jalen Hardaway's played probably in his entire life. I mean, he was he was 9 out of 9 in the first round, the quarterfinal game against McMinn. He was 9 out of 12 today. And what I like about him, guys, is these days you see a lot of big kids want to drift out to the perimeter and be guards and dribble and shoot 3-pointers. No, he's 6'7". He's probably north of 250 pounds, and he's down there in the paint, 2-3 feet from the basket where he should be getting rebounds.
This is my spot. You can't have it.
Yeah. and good luck getting me out of it at 6'7" and north of 250.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
he attempted a couple of threes today. He attempted a couple in the first game, but primarily he's been down in the paint, right around the basket, getting offensive rebounds, getting, blocking shots, getting rebounds, and posting up and using his soft hands and his considerable posterior and his offensive acumen to carve out, good space for himself around the rim and get good shots, which is what you want to see your big high school big man do. That's what I want to see my big man do.
Absolutely. And with that, John, as we look to tomorrow's 1:30 matchup between Independence and Memphis Overton, we were discussing it out in the media hospitality room earlier. Hardaway is going to create some problems for Independence, but, and you watched it, I feel like Independence's senior post, Matt Witt, may be able to create some problems for Overton as well.
I think he did a really good job against Elijah Curry today, East big man. Curry had a nice game with 20 points and 15 rebounds, but as much as you can say it, it was a quiet 20 points and 15 rebounds. So I agree with you. I think the X factor, and no pun intended, but I think it's going to be Xavier Alexander for Overton. He did not score today, which I'm sure the first game this year he hasn't scored. He's typically for the season he's Overton's second leading scorer. It's not Hardaway. It's Alexander that's the second leading scorer behind Friesen. So I mean he's a 3-point shooter. He's one of the best standstill knockdown shooters in our city. He made 9 3-pointers against Dixon County in the sectional game. He had multiple other games with 4 or 5 3-pointers. Really, really talented shooter. He was missing in action today. I think they need a big game from him tomorrow. I think they will get a big game from him tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be enough against a really good Independence team.
Typically, those type guys, those type scorers don't have consecutive off nights. We saw Jet Montgomery in the sectional against Green Hill a couple of weeks ago. He was held to 5 points.
No.
came out in the quarterfinal and scored 24.
I can't imagine Xavier's ever had a game where he didn't score a single point.
So you feel like he's probably going to make up for it tomorrow? Then,
I feel like he can. I mean, he certainly has the potential. I feel like if he does, Overton's got a great chance. I think Fryson's going to do what he's been doing. I think if they can get another big game out of Hardaway, I mean, because he's absolutely playing out of his mind. He looks like. I mean, you can make an argument that Fryson is the best player at this tournament. You can make an argument that Hardaway's been the second best player in the 4A tournament. He's just been really outstanding, and it's really been a nice surprise for them. So hopefully he can keep it up. But all that being said, Independence is really, really good. If anybody's listening to Memphis, trust me on that. They're a really good team.
If anybody would know, it'd be this guy, John Varlas of the Daily Memphian, joining us here.
And if they don't believe you, just ask Memphis East.
Well, East, yeah.
East fans will tell you that's a darn good basketball team.
I think they would, because here's the thing. Memphis knows good basketball, and Memphis appreciates good basketball, regardless of where it's housed.
No, they'll tip your hat. I had people from Memphis texting me throughout the game. They're watching it. They're like, Independence is a good game. This is a tough matchup for East. Yeah, people recognize. I like to make the joke that, Memphis is the city with, probably 700,000-800,000 basketball coaches. Everybody knows the game. Everybody has an opinion on the game. But you're right, Mo. Everybody, they appreciate good basketball, and you just tip your cap to a team like Independence. They executed their game plan today, and they were the better team today. There's no doubt about it.
And last night, one of the best basketball games of this tournament. Power Center, Giles County, just an absolute barn burner. And Giles County, for their efforts,
gets Douglas.
Frederick Douglass High School.
Well, and Douglas, guys, we they're a 2A team, but I said this on Memphis radio this morning. They're not just a good 2A team; they're a good team. Period. They've got it all. They've got shooters, they've got scorers, and I always differentiate between shooters and scorers. They've got depth, they've got size, they've got length, they've got athleticism, they've got a really good coach, and they're just. The way they can just throw bodies at you and just attack. We were at the All-State meeting, and it's kind of hard pressed to find an All-State guy from Douglas because they have 4 or 5 guys that average 11 points, 10 points, 9 points a game. They're just so well balanced and so disciplined. It's really hard to pick a standout, and it's really hard to beat a team like that.
John Varlas of the Daily Memphian joining us here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, as Hampton is finishing off a 53. Right now it's 53-42 over Chattanooga Prep with 4.2 seconds to play. So Hampton looks like they're getting ready to nail down a 1A state championship game berth here.
Does in fact look that way. So, well, John, how do you think this tournament has played out? It seems like there's been some games had a lot better atmosphere than others. Of course, we had some teams that are on spring break this week, Independence included. But what's been your thought this week versus last week and the atmosphere that we've had here at Murphy Center?
I think it's been a fun tournament as always. Some teams are going to travel, some teams aren't going to travel. That's just a problem when you have a state like Tennessee that's geographically spread out like it is. It's hard to get people from, Douglas or the far eastern corners of the state or some of these other small towns to come, for a state tournament game. But, overall, the atmosphere has been great. I think the coaches won't agree, but I think for the most part, it's been a well-officiated tournament. And I think we've seen some really good players, your Jet Montgomerys, your Jordan Frysons, the kids from Haywood last night, the big kid from Haywood and the guard from Haywood, I thought they were outstanding. Just a lot of fun to see these kids from different parts of the state. And it really makes you appreciate what a good basketball state Tennessee is in general, not just in Memphis, but all over. And I try to tell people that. I'm like, look, guys, it's not Memphis anymore. These teams, when they see Memphis on the jersey, they don't just roll over and go into a shell like they did 15, 20 years ago. They feel like they can play with these guys. And that's true private school, girls, public boys. It's true across all levels.
And you're right. And, the Independence kids kind of mentioned it in the the post-game media session, they're like, bring it, and not in an arrogant sense, not in a challenging sense, but more like a, we know that Memphis has kind of set the standard basketball-wise, and we want to test ourselves against that and see where we measure up. And it's not a rollover. It's like, let's go see where we are.
Yeah, and that's what competitors are going to do, and Overton will bring it, and may the best team win. It's going to be a really good game, I think, and a great test for both teams. But no, I agree with you. It's changed. It shows how the game has evolved in Tennessee, and I think it's for the better. It's just it's the old rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing. I mean, it's just good for the sport in general.
Absolutely. You saw Giles County in that 70-68 win over Power Center. You've seen Douglas all year. What are you expecting out of this semifinal game later on today?
I think I don't know if Giles is going to shoot the ball as well as they did against Power Center, and I think like I said, I think Douglas just has so many different bodies and so many different options. I just feel like that's going to be the difference today. Now, I may be totally wrong about that, but I really like Douglas's chances. I think they're on a roll. I mean, they've played a really tough. I mean, the schedule they played this year is just insane, and I think it's got them well prepared for 2A competition, and I think they'll win. But certainly Giles County is a good team. They showed it against PCA, and may the best man win. But I think Douglas is going to get it done today.
John, I know that you cover high school sports and do it as well as anybody in this state, but do you have any kind of feel for, and this is completely off subject, Mo knows where I'm going. Do you have any idea or any feel on the vibe in regards to the Showboats and the USFL?
Oh, geez, I don't know that there is a vibe, to be honest.
Not yet. Okay, then that's fair. That's why I'm asking, because I just don't know.
I just don't think there's a huge buzz for that right now in Memphis. I really don't. I mean, our paper's covering it, but we're certainly not covering it as much as other things. We have Grizzlies with the Tigers are in the NCAA tournament. We've got
and that probably makes a difference too, because you've got the Grizzlies in the playoff hunt. Obviously, they're fighting for that number 2 spot. Plus, obviously Memphis is in the tournament.
Yeah, and John Morant is in the news for something every day.
Sure.
And we've got this tournament going on. So, right now the Showboats are kind of taking their place in the back of the line. I mean, I think
but we're still a month away too.
Sure, and I think it's going to be a fun night out. I think a lot of people will ultimately, give the product a try once football season comes around, because everybody loves football, and there's no doubt about that. I think it's going to be a tough sell overall. I hope it does well, but I think it's going to be a tough sell, and it's just. You can't eat ice cream every day, right? So, I mean, ice cream's awesome, but you can't eat it every day. And football is awesome, but at some point, people are going to be like, it's football. It's April, it's May. We're going to go on vacation.
So many other things.
Our kids have baseball. Travel, soccer, whatever. Whatever people do in the summer. It's just going to be a hard sell in my opinion.
You mentioned the University of Memphis. They are in the NCAAs and got a pretty favorable. I don't want to say they got a pretty favorable seed. They earned a pretty favorable number 2 seed. Did they play last night? Who did they match up? They play today.
Florida Atlantic.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go.
They're at 9:20 tonight, and then they'll get the winner, obviously, of Purdue and Fairleigh Dickinson.
It's the 8-9 game, the dreaded 8-9 game.
I don't think it's dreaded, though. I think they almost beat Gonzaga last year, and they were the number 1 overall seed. I think Purdue is a vulnerable 1.
Well, they are, but I think Memphis is a vulnerable 8. I think Florida Atlantic has got
it's not a great draw.
I
don't think it's a great draw for either team.
Yeah, no, neither one of those deserve that.
Florida Atlantic's got great 3-point shooters, and Memphis has had problems all year, guys, guarding the 3-point shot. I mean, it's a tough matchup for that perspective. If Florida Atlantic's 3-pointers are falling, Memphis could be in trouble. Now, having said that, they've played well lately. I think their confidence is extremely high. I don't want them to look past Florida Atlantic, and I think Hardaway is going to make sure they don't do that. But I don't want them to fixate on playing Purdue and having another shot at that number one like they did last year. I don't want them to fixate on that, and I don't think they will. But no, Florida Atlantic's a really good team. I mean, you don't win. And some of the local media was kind of poo-pooing them, saying they didn't play anybody, this and that. Well, you don't win 31 games anywhere. Exactly. Yeah. So they're a good team, and I think it's a tough matchup.
They probably got the best guy on the floor, though, in Kendrick Davis, right?
There's no doubt. They probably have the two best guys on the floor with DeAndre Williams and Kendrick Davis. DeAndre is really played well here the last 3-4 weeks of the season. He's just been outstanding. So they might have the two best players, but when you got a team full of 3-point shooters, I mean, it only takes one to get rolling, and then he can carry a team. So I'm concerned. I think Memphis wins. If I was a betting man, I would certainly bet for Memphis, but it's not going to be an easy game.
John Varlos of the Daily Memphian here on Main Street Sports today. John, thanks for taking some time with us, man. We really appreciate it.
I will do anything for you guys. Well, mostly I'll do mostly anything.
Most anything.
I'll do anything for Mo, but.
That's good. That's good to know. But no, man, it's always fun to have you on. You always bring a wealth of knowledge, especially from the Memphis area, and we really appreciate it.
I can't thank you enough, guys, and I'm glad I found you over here.
It's not always easy.
We're a little tough to find if you're on the floor, but we kind of like it that way too.
I dig it.
It's a solid little perch, though. I mean, you can really, if you can get rid of the bar here, you can watch a really good basketball game.
It's a good pro, and I agree. Low profile is certainly better than no profile. Right?
There you go.
Boom. JV, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, there has been a development in the Kevin BYARD Tennessee Titans ordeal. So we go back to our top story right after this on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Stick around.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Miller from Mornings on Main Street. Join us March 23rd at Bridgestone Arena with the Nashville Predators for Main Street Media Night. I know Devin O'Day will be here.
You know I will be, Stephanie. Plus, you can register for a Predators prize pack. They were going to call it the Hockey Hootenanny, but they changed. So it's going to have 4 tickets and food vouchers. You got to register to win.
We're looking forward to seeing all of our Main Street Sports Today fans, right, Chris?
Absolutely, we are. And we could not do this without, of course, our owner, Dave Gould, and our friends here at Smashville.
Speaking of,
where is Dave?
We will see you March 23rd for Main Street Media Night.
Let's go, Preds!
Do I have the wrong night?
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We come to you from the Lee Company studio, live from Murphy Center at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University. Thanks to our friends at Jones & Lane Sporting Goods. Yes, we sound like NASCAR drivers, but we love our sponsors, and we're gonna give them all the props that we can give them. So it just is what it is, Mo.
Hey, They do that for a reason, and we appreciate them.
No doubt.
And we're gonna show our appreciation. And so, if anyone else would like us to show appreciation,
call
get at
us. You can find us. You can follow us. You can visit our website. It's right there on your screen. And if you don't mind, if you are looking for any home improvements, HVAC, garage doors, like I said, anything involved in home improvement, just give Lee Company a call and scan that QR code that's on your screen. Mo, our top story today with the Titans, we talked about Arden Key. There's that. We got folks making cameos behind our screen here. Anyway, there's a podcast out there in which a former GM, I believe, made the claim that the Tennessee Titans may be thinking about cutting the mayor of Murfreesboro, Kevin Byard. And I made the comment on Twitter that I have a better chance of getting signed by the Titans, Justin, than Kevin Byard does of getting cut by the Titans. Now, I felt really good in saying that 2 days ago.
You should feel better now.
I should feel better? Okay.
Go ahead. Continue. Don't let me stop you.
No, that's on. I felt good about saying it 2 days ago, but now there's all kinds of stuff coming out.
I don't think
I don't think any of it holds water.
Okay, first of all, to follow up on what you've said to this point, on a recent episode of the GM Shuffle podcast, former NFL executive and current analyst Michael Lombardi, because I think a name needs to be put on this, suggested that the Titans would like to lower Byard's $19.62 million cap hit. If they can't lower that hit, he forwarded, then the organization would be willing to move on from the 29-year-old defensive back. He's a really good player, Lombardi said. They're trying to get him to take a pay cut. If he doesn't take a pay cut, they're going to cut him. I would rather have Byard than Jesse Bates. This is where the rubber meets the road. Are they bluffing? Are they not bluffing? They've got cap issues. That team is a mess. Now, I thought the Titans were like $23 million under the cap.
They are. We don't have cap issues. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. The Titans right now, do they have some
less than ideal contracts, maybe? Some roster holes, maybe? But a mess?
No,
not at this point.
No.
Not after some of the moves that Rand Carthon has made to this point.
Rand Carthon has made some moves.
And
Kevin Byard,
I just don't think Kevin Byard is one of the top safeties, one of the top players at his position in this league, is he not?
Yes.
Top 5?
He's a top 5 safety.
Okay.
No question.
I just don't understand the cut everybody approach that so many people seem to be taking to this team.
Let's go back and hear what Kevin Byard said on January 17th.
But this is my legacy, man. I've played my college ball here in Tennessee. Just finished my 7th year here in Tennessee. I would love to be able to retire as a Titan. This team, this city, this organization, the fans, community, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family. So definitely wouldn't want to play any other place, any other city, any other organization other than Tennessee Titans. For me, this is my legacy, man.
That being said, that was before Rand Carthon. Obviously, Rand has a plan. I hope. That is not supposed to come out that way.
Look at you. Look at you. That's a hashtag right there.
Rand's plan.
Rand has a plan. I like it.
So, I still think that I have a better chance of getting signed than Byard does of getting cut. That's the way I feel. Now, I may be on at L Takes Exposed by the end of the week. I don't know.
Well, the good thing is today's
Friday.
But now, give us the latest.
Well, here's the positive. A local radio personality in Nashville says he has sources saying that Kevin Byard has asked for his release. The positive to this is that guy has a track record on his predictions of being 0% correct at any given time. So maybe there's a curse. Maybe that's a positive for the curse for the Titans and Titans fans in regards to Kevin Byard. So I don't think this is.
I don't think Kevin Byard is trying to get out of Nashville. I don't think the Titans are trying to get Kevin Byard out of Nashville.
And I don't remember the exact numbers. I had him the other day, but like his cap hit is pretty big, and he doesn't save you but $6 million if you cut him. It doesn't make sense to cut him now or in the next 2 years. So what good?
And he's pretty good.
And he's a top 5 safety. We're not breaking down the best defense the Tennessee Titans have had in a decade and a half.
Safety isn't like quarterback, so I'm not sure Michael Sean Dugar's quote necessarily applies that it's a lot easier to get worse at safety than it is to get better. But at the same time, I don't know that you can bring somebody in that matches the skill level, the talent, the experience that Kevin Byard has if you get rid of him.
So I will tell you what, there's a tweet, and you were searching Kevin Byard. There's a tweet out there that says Derrick Henry is definitely the face of the franchise, but Kevin Byard is its heart. And I think that's a great way to put it. Kevin Byard is in the community. He's the mayor of Murfreesboro. They don't call him that for no reason. He's a guy who wants to be here more than he wants to be anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I just don't understand why we're out here acting like
he's just another guy.
Right. Nobody should be acting like that. And I certainly don't think Mike Vrabel would say, yeah, Rand, we can handle it without him.
No, not as defensive minded as Vrabel is. I mean, I know the NFL is a business. I know you don't get attached to folks. But at the same time, I feel like Mike Vrabel probably has an attachment to Kevin Byard.
And he should. So, fantastic band work here by Middleton's folks. They were fantastic the other day.
Oh, yeah.
They're fantastic today. Looking forward to this one here as University School, Johnson City and Middleton. Where is Middleton?
Middleton is in southwest Tennessee. It's a little east of Memphis.
So literally
it's
the farthest away we could have two teams playing.
Yeah, probably. It's down around Bolivar. Now, I'm not sure how close they are, but it's in that general area if you're familiar with West Tennessee, Southwest Tennessee.
You're talking tip to tip here.
Yeah.
This is insane. And what better place to be than Middle Tennessee State, right here on campus where the middle of the state exists.
Yes.
What better place to be?
It's not called Middle Tennessee State for nothing.
For no reason. That's exciting. So looking forward to watching this one and unfold. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we react to yesterday's NCAA tournament. We look forward to the rest of today and the weekend in sports. So stick around. We come back to the Lee Company studio live from Murphy Center right here on Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Be back after this.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. I'm Chris Yow. He's Mo Patton, and we are glad to be with you on this Friday edition of the show from Murphy Center at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships in the Mobile Lee Company studio. Man, what a weekend it has been. What a week it's been. We started the NCAA tournament yesterday, and tons of great stuff. But we should probably start with a little Middle Tennessee love.
Absolutely. One of the more exciting finishes yesterday was Furman in Virginia, and it was authored by a local product.
Take a look here and watch it unfold.
Out there, along with Shedrick, are their best free throw shooters. Clark in a straight check. Oh, he didn't need to do that. He threw it away. Bean, Pegues. Timeout, Virginia. Did we just see what we think we just saw? Wow.
Not too many better than Kevin Harlan, for one thing.
Well, yeah, that was fantastic. Did we just see what I think we just saw?
Yes,
JP
we did.
Pegues of Hillsboro.
Mm-hmm.
Can you find – hold on. I'm going to send you something here, and I want to show you this because this is not unusual. But, yeah, let's talk about JP Pegues real quick.
Again, former Hillsboro standout. What is he, a sophomore, junior over at Furman?
That I don't know.
I believe he's a junior over there. With Virginia down up two, they throw one away late. One of his teammates finds him on the right wing for three in the ball game.
What about that? The thought process of just throwing the ball as far as you can.
It's kind of like a former quarterback that I covered where he just said, I just threw it up and hoped my guy could make a play. Well, I think it was the same principle there and worked out about the same way. So.
See if we can get this video up, Justin, because I think it's worth watching, if at all possible. This is not the first time JP Pegues has made a game-winning shot in a do-or-die, go-home situation. 2020, at Hillsboro for a chance to go to the state tournament.
Celebration is the best part. The celebration is the best part, especially about the people.
You need to write it down.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a fantastic finish there.
That's
so
solid. So yeah, he's no. I think he probably had a little bit more time to think about that one though, because he had it. He's bringing it up. He takes a step back three there. That time they kind of found him with it, and it was just catch and shoot.
And he did.
And yes.
So congrats to Furman as they move on.
The Dens.
That's right.
Short for Paladins.
Also yesterday, Alabama moves on easily, but without a single point from Cane Ridge product Brandon Miller. How about that? Would you have ever expected that? If you told me Alabama was not going to get a single point out of Brandon Miller, there's no chance I said they win by 20.
Well, I mean, I guess it just shows how good they are. But I'm when I heard that Brandon Miller was injured, was scoreless, I'm like, what's wrong with him? How many? How long? Yeah, is he hurt? How long did he play? You know, what's up? He played 19 minutes. Now, clearly, they didn't need him against Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Right, but they're going to need him against Maryland.
You would think.
He's going to have to step up. Yeah, yesterday was full of surprises, I thought. Obviously, Princeton taking down Arizona was a big surprise.
15 getting a 2 is always a surprise. But, you know, it's Arizona. It's the Pac-12. Is it a surprise?
There's that. Northern Kentucky hung in with Houston as long as they could. And then after the game, Kelvin Sampson had to take some tough questions about playing his All-American.
Marcus Sasser with a groin
injury.
The groin strain. Yeah, he injured that groin in the AAC semifinals. Did not play in the championship game against Memphis, and I mean, I think that was a storyline coming in. Would he play? How long could he play? That kind of thing, and yeah. As Charles Barkley and some of the guys were saying in the NCAA tournament studio, you know, those soft tissue injuries are kind of iffy. You really want to err on the side of caution with that thing. If you feel like he's healthy, you go ahead and sit him anyway and give him a couple of extra days on that. So I think it was interesting that he did play. I'm not sure how much they got out of him, but, you know, if he tweaked that going into this Auburn game, then that's potentially an issue.
Checking in for University School, number 30, Alex Cole.
Nope. No stats on the – they got a great app here from March Madness Live, but apparently not all the way – through.
March Madness Live isn't all the way live. Is that what you're saying?
All the information not quite there. We weren't surprised by Auburn winning, right?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, playing in Birmingham, you knew the crowd was going to be a little bit on, at least somewhat pro Auburn.
And I was not that bastion of March success either.
No, they are not. That is a great point. Iowa has struggled in March. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a UT fan, you think UT's been bad in March? Check out Iowa.
Imagine being Iowa. Tennessee last night. Let's just get into it. They were on the cusp of running away with the thing.
And then they were on the cusp
of losing
it. Yes.
And, you know, obviously survive and advance, but
I mean, you get the full fan experience when you are a UT fan. You get to experience everything.
Yeah, you do.
Oftentimes in the same game.
And sometimes in 10 minutes.
The agony and the ecstasy of being a UT fan.
Let me just look at, because they do have team stats here. 18 turnovers in the game, 12 of those in the first half. So at least they cut them down in the second half. The problem was that they didn't do anything else with the basketball. Louisiana scored 21 points off of turnovers last night.
That's too many.
You can't win. You can't win basketball games. One, turning the ball over that much, but two, allowing your opponent to score off of it when you do turn it over. And that the entire night you're going, boy, sure would be nice if we had a point guard.
Well, I don't know how a team, how a program like a Tennessee gets into the position of only having one serviceable point guard. I mean, it's one thing if you've really got a drop-off from your starter to your next guy or something, but they
have
truly
a freshman
don't.
Point guard.
Who, BJ Edwards?
But he's not played at all, so he is that huge drop-off.
Well,
I truly don't believe, I don't think Rick Barnes thought Kennedy Chandler was going to leave.
This isn't a Kennedy Chandler thing. This is a not getting BJ Edwards on the floor in the first half of the season.
But what I'm saying, that's why I think they're in the situation coming into this year with a freshman and Zakai Ziegler.
Okay, well, that's fine that you're in that position coming into this year. You're in that position coming into this year. You got to do something to get BJ Edwards ready.
And at no point.
And I will say this, for everybody that has fought with Rick Barnes, it's amazing that that's not a point that anybody's making.
That's a point that is probably a better point than any of the points
other point that anybody has.
I don't know how this team has survived this long. I mean, I know Zakai played 32, 33 minutes a game, and the rest of the time you just kind of relied on Vescovy.
Yeah, Vescovy or
JoJo or whatever.
Yeah, but you can't play 40 minutes piecemeal in the point guard situation against good teams.
And
tomorrow could be ugly.
It very well could be. But then again, it could also go the other way. I just don't know. How much of a disappointment this year, and particularly yesterday, has Julian Phillips been? Now, I know he's been injured, and he's playing with a brace, but you really feel like a five-star guy should have a little bit more impact than what he's had on this team.
He's not had an impact recently, and I think that's a combination of being injured and being in and out of the lineup and just the inconsistency of a freshman. I mean, there were times when he was considered one of the top freshmen in the country. So, I mean, and this team has been so inconsistent that his inconsistency doesn't
and maybe
stand out.
It's like taking on the identity of your team.
Yeah. I think with a full off season to get healthy and to get stronger and that kind of thing, I think we've seen enough out of him to know what he is, and maybe that's what makes his inconsistency so disappointing.
And his lack of production later. But again, he's playing with a knee brace. He's injured. He's hurt. He's not injured because he's playing.
Right.
But he is playing hurt, and you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
That being said, sometimes it's better to be injured than to play hurt.
On this team, though?
Well, and that's,
I mean, where are you going to go if it's not him?
Again, that's another issue with where Rick Barnes has found himself is, his three best players, three of his four best players, Vescovy's is at least number two, probably number one. But three of his four best players have gotten hurt this year, and we had nobody to backfill.
Yeah.
And you got to be deep in March.
And I don't know. I mean, you're seeing some pretty good things out of Meshack.
That guy played outside of his mind yesterday.
You're seeing some pretty good things out of Adu.
Did
you see that putback slam that Nkamwa had?
Olivier Nkamwa.
Where he came from between the logo and the top of the key, and nobody put a body on him?
Yeah. Olivier Nkamwa and Adu have been, at times,
Mainly because they're not
just insane. That's
Justin, you're the man.
That was quick. He had it already ready. He knew it was coming. They have been the reason Tennessee has won some games this year.
Yeah. The energy that they brought.
And Tyreek Key as well. But again, everybody on this team, you don't know what you're going to get from day in, day out. Now, Saturday, they may all give you the best game of the year, and they go in there and whip Duke. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen.
I will say this. That's what it's going to take.
It's exactly what it's going to take, because Duke is playing really well right now. They took Oral Roberts to the woodshed. And just like, Joe Sullivan told us, I was prepared to have Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16.
Until they matched up with Duke.
Until they matched up with Duke, and that just goes to show how good Duke is. That's it. That was a popular Sweet 16 Cinderella team, and they dismantled them.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're playing the best basketball they've played all year. You got to watch out.
Speaking of dismantling, and you mentioned it on Twitter late last night.
I don't know how late. I was asleep by 10:20.
Well, you must have done it at like 10:15 and then turned off your phone. I don't know.
That's probably exactly what I did.
Texas A&M.
Oh, they were terrible. Terrible.
As a 7 seed.
No, terrible.
They got
terrible.
thrashed. There it is. A&M looks straight at 10-11. There you go.
I put my phone down and I was pretty much asleep.
You were done. Yeah.
34% from the floor. They did hit 10 3-pointers, but
they didn't hit much else, man.
And out-rebounded Penn State. 17 offensive boards. 17 offensive boards.
Is there a points off offensive boards?
Not on this.
No.
Not in this.
That's unfortunate, because maybe that's why they got so many offensive boards, because they were missing.
They kept missing all the other shots.
Yeah, 76-59 the final there.
76-59 the final. Were you more surprised by that?
Yes.
That was your biggest surprise?
What are my other options?
Well, hold on. I had it on the list, but my computer's dead. So. There's Miller going scoreless or Texas A&M getting blown out?
Miller going scoreless.
That's a bigger surprise.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Man, what a day, though. I mean, there were some upsets, but then like popular upsets like Charleston getting past San Diego. San Diego State getting past Charleston as a 5 seed. That was a big.
It's crazy that it's almost an upset when a 5 seed wins.
It kind of is at this point. I mean, it's really weird. Virginia going down again. We talked about Pegues with that. This morning, Michigan State holds off USC. 7 and 10 seeds. Typically, those go the way of the 10. It just, you know.
Ask A&M.
Kennesaw State had a big lead, and Xavier comes back, wins the game 72-67.
That's earlier today, right?
That was earlier today. They also out-rebounded Xavier, but had 11 turnovers. You just, you never know what you're going to get in March.
Well, that's
St. Mary's is probably going to hold off VCU.
That's why everybody follows it, man. That's why that's why there is the level of excitement around it, because of the unpredictability of it.
Like you said, it's almost an upset when a 5 seed wins, and St. Mary's is going to win even after getting drubbed. by Gonzaga. I think VCU was one of the very popular.
Highly, yeah.
I mean, one of the most popular upset picks, and St. Mary's looks like it's going to hold on there up 59-51 with a minute to play.
I don't know if Pittsburgh is going to hold on, but they are off to a heck of a start. 22-8 against 6th seed Iowa State.
Yeah, and Pitt playing in that first four. There's, I think, every year since like 2016, one of the first 4 11 seeds have made the Sweet 16.
I don't know about making the Sweet 16, but they've certainly won an opening round game.
So that's pretty interesting. The rest of the day, Mo, you've got Providence, Kentucky. That's another one that folks are kind of interested in because I think Providence early in the year was kind of getting some love. They were ranked top 20 in the country, but they've fallen off here of late.
And they've got a transfer from Kentucky as well, I believe.
That's right.
Bryce Hopkins.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of created a little bit of buzz around that ball game.
And then Drake coming off you mentioned Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, Miami. Miami won the ACC regular season, but Drake winning the MVC tournament.
That was the 12 that kind of caught my eye in a 5-12.
And let's be honest, Grand Canyon coach Bryce Drew knows a little bit about upsetting some folks.
Well, as a player, he upset some folks as a coach as well. He upset a lot of folks here in Nashville.
That's true. But
I don't think that's what you meant.
His Grand Canyon team gets Gonzaga, and obviously Gonzaga they've not been great in March since they have had single digits next to their name.
Kind of a tweak on the more money, more problems type thing, You know? I mean, you chase that notoriety and that respect and that kind of thing, and then you start getting it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we are no longer the hunter.
It's tough being the hunter.
We are the hunted.
It is tough. It's a big difference. 8:20 tonight, Florida Atlantic and Miami. I'm sorry, Florida Atlantic and Memphis. We talked about that just a moment ago with John Varlas. We're going to be paying attention to this Montana State Kansas State game tonight.
Yeah, we are.
Because we need Kansas State. We can't be having this craziness going on.
No, we don't need Montana State doing anything nutty.
Busting brackets today.
Busting hours.
So tomorrow, though, and I mentioned this, Alabama's 2 seed and 4 seed are now gone. They get Maryland tomorrow. The highest seed rating is Baylor. Metrics don't even like Baylor. Alabama, as much as you can have a smooth sailing to the Final Four, it seems like the top overall seed Crimson Tide are going to have them.
It really feels like it's opening up for them. Baylor opened with a 74-56 win over Cal Santa Barbara earlier. So, yeah.
And the rest of the weekend, tomorrow, obviously, Arkansas, Kansas. Bill Self was not on the sideline for Kansas's first round game. Don't know that he will be or will not be for the round 2 matchup against Arkansas. But Eric Musselman's going to have his boys ready. Don't call us Arkansas.
I already told you what I think.
What game are you most looking forward to tomorrow? That one?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a heck of a matchup there. Obviously, I mean, I've got the Razorbacks to the Final Four. I
think Princeton, Missouri is going to be fun.
I don't know, man. I think Dennis Gates has quietly done one of the better jobs in the country, particularly among first-year I think it'll be tough for Princeton to pull off a second shocker, and I feel like that's what that would be.
We all said that about St. Mary's last year too, Mo.
Well,
and you know, it's been said about Middle Tennessee State University before.
Well, accurately, unfortunately.
That's right. When they were the 15, they didn't win.
No, they've not punched through to the Sweet 16 yet. They lost to Syracuse that year, I believe, and they lost to Butler after they beat Minnesota, I believe. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, some double-digit seeds have obviously gotten through to the Sweet 16, but it's not easy.
Oh no, it's not easy for anybody, much less the
double-digit
seeds.
Yeah.
I think Penn State Texas will be fun. That'll be an intriguing matchup. Now that I think Penn State proved to a lot of folks that they're for real.
Yeah, they will definitely have the Longhorns' attention and everybody else's, I think. So
the women's bracket has tipped off, and I already have missed a game.
Oh no!
Yep. I had
that didn't take long.
Had Marquette beating South Florida in the 8-9 matchup, and South Florida with a 2-point win over Marquette to advance their prize. South Carolina, 72-40 winners over Norfolk.
That's tough.
Notre Dame currently leads Southern Utah. Arizona defeated West Virginia 75-62. Maryland is destroying Holy Cross. That's always. And Georgia.
Number 10 Georgia.
Number 10 seed Georgia takes down Florida State. So
I will buy you one of your favorite beverage if you can tell me Southern Utah's nickname.
Southern Utah? Couldn't tell you.
The Thunderbirds.
Have they always been the Thunderbirds?
As far as I know.
I like it. Obviously, we are looking forward to 6 o'clock tonight. Middle Tennessee State and Colorado.
That's tomorrow night.
I mean, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
6 o'clock tomorrow night.
No, I'm looking forward to 6 o'clock tonight too, actually.
Obviously,
but yes. Yeah.
6 o'clock tomorrow night, Colorado. Middle Tennessee State a 2-point favorite in that one.
Isn't that something? As an 11 seed?
I think that just,
oh, goodness.
I know Middle lost 2 games in the middle of the season on that road trip to Texas, but getting back home, winning both of those games, then beating one of them en route to a championship, to me feels like they should have gotten a little bit more respect.
They probably should have.
And Colorado's mad. Folks in Boulder, as I told you, are wondering who they made angry.
To draw MTSU?
Who did we piss off that we got to play this team?
This team, yep.
That is favored to beat us. So if
like y'all, we're the 6.
If 11 seed Middle wins as a favorite, is it an upset?
Apparently not.
I mean, not according to our folks in Vegas.
Yeah, well.
So I mean, I don't know. Before we get out of here, Mo, we do need to talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow or tonight. 6 o'clock tonight, Giles County, after their 70-68 win over Power Center. We talked to John Varlas about it a little bit earlier. He said, obviously Douglas is a little bit, if you thought Power Center was long, Douglas is longer. And
they really, in what we saw of their game yesterday, who did they beat?
York.
And it was kind of tough to tell.
It's hard to tell.
But they look like they've got all the pieces. I mean, as Varlas said, deep. Their length, their size in the middle, their ability to shoot the ball, that kind of thing. I mean, they do everything well that you want a basketball team to do to be a championship level basketball team. And
here's what I'm gonna say. Douglas will not out hustle Giles County.
No,
I don't think anybody is going to out hustle Giles County.
They will play as hard as Giles County, maybe, but they won't play any harder than Giles County. Yeah,
and
And
Giles County is scrappy.
if they don't figure out that Jake Carden is left-handed, then they might have some problems too.
That's a key. It really is. I think they're scrappy, Giles County. I think they've got a couple of guards who are elusive for a number of different reasons. One of which being 5'3".
Yeah, I mean, for Clay Mitchell to be able to get 6 rebounds against Power Center should almost be embarrassing, really.
I mean, we watched him get one where nobody even touched him. He goes to the block and just goes in there and grabs the ball.
Grabs it.
Like nobody's paying attention to him.
Because they weren't.
Yeah. For 2 reasons.
Who is this guy?
Oh, he's playing. But they're a scrappy bunch, and I think that's what's going to be the key for Giles County and Nick Campbell tonight. Nick talks about, obviously the free flow offense and letting them kind of do their thing. It really plays into the hands of Jack Harper, a guy who can shoot the ball really, really well.
From anywhere.
Varlas obviously said, he didn't think that Giles County would shoot as well tonight as they did. I'm not going to take that bet. I mean,
they might.
This is a team that I feel like, shoots the ball really well, and they get to the rim well.
Surprisingly. Yeah, I mean, again, Jake Carden gets to the rim. Jack Harper gets to the rim. Jason Coffey is really crafty down around the block, and he can extend it out as well. And they've got some guys that can score. KT Turner is just tough, and he can knock down that 3 as well. I think the key is going to be how well they're able to get their shots against Douglas's length, maybe.
As we go to halftime here, Middleton leads Johnson City 36-27. Big bucket there right at the horn, just before the horn, to extend the lead for Middleton.
Winner gets Hampton.
Winner gets Hampton in the Class 1A finals, Class 1A finals. The 3A finals, if you'd have told me Fulton was going to win by 40, I would have said you're a knucklehead. But Fulton come out and put it on Martin Luther King yesterday. Obviously, surprise. You don't expect that in any semifinal game, much less one with a team as talented as Martin Luther King. So I'll be surprised if Fulton doesn't just run away with it tomorrow as well. And then in Class 4A, we talked obviously quite a bit about it, but Independence, man, I think they've got a legitimate shot at winning this thing. I really do. We looked earlier, and East and Overton have split on the year. They played 4 times, same district. Split in district play, split the district championship and the region championship. And just a really impressive bunch of kids from both East and Overton.
Right.
But boy, Independence has shown up here at Murphy Center and
showed out.
And they have proven, Mo, that they belong.
Yeah. I think that's got to be the takeaway, regardless of what happens tomorrow. They have proven that they belong on this stage. Been so impressed with Matt Witt, really taking his game to another level here over the last couple of weeks from the sectional on. I mean, he's become an offensive weapon, I think. I mean, not just a player. He was a guy that would get a few rebounds, maybe, alter some shots down on the other end, that kind of thing. But he has become an offensive weapon, and he's become offensive-minded.
Yep.
Seems like.
You know who else is happy about this Independence team? AP voters, who had them sitting at number 1, number 2, after Bartlett fell from the top perch. Independence was kind of in that top 2 or 3 all year long, and
they were number 2 in the final poll behind Hillsborough.
And they beat Hillsboro in the region finals. Didn't have to worry about them here as Overton took care of the Burros in the semifinals. So they're going to get a chance to put themselves atop the state.
And that's all you want.
That's all you want, a chance. And we're going to get a chance to come back on Monday, talk about all the things that have happened over the weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got, again, Tennessee, Duke tomorrow. Vandy, didn't talk about that yet, but today. But Vandy and Michigan tomorrow at Memorial should be fun.
Women.
And Tennessee women will be in their first round game. And don't tell anybody. I wore this. I wore my Royal 4 middle, and that's why I wore this to cover up the St. Louis logo.
There you go. That's a good looking shirt other than the Billiken logo.
Yeah, there you go. But we'll be back on Monday in the Lee Company studio. Thanks for hanging out with us this week, Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.